Smash that record button. Smash that like button. Give us a thumbs up. Throw us a subscribe.
The irony of all of that being that the only platform we're not on is YouTube.
Yeah. Great. Doing great. Oh,
man.
Good boy.
Yeah, I genuinely. Well, I guess I don't know why I wouldn't just start if I was going to talk about the Haunted. Maybe I'll just start the podcast. Welcome to the 2 Decades Too Late podcast, everyone. I'm Brad, hanging out with Josh.
Yo!
This is the podcast which we rate and review an album that is turning 20 years old, mostly metal for whatever it's worth. Josh and I each give a rating of 1 through 5 to 4 different parameters for an individual maximum point total of 20 and a combined maximum point total of 40.
That was nicely done.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I actually wrote it out finally.
I thought you did. Yeah.
I read that off my phone.
That's great. Well prepared.
Hey, man. Yeah. And this week, did you spell it with a capital R? Because they don't, and
No.
It's weird. But the Haunted's REVOLVEr, or lowercase r, evolve, lowercase r.
Yeah.
Because it's 2004. That's something you do.
It's super good.
It is.
And the
It
hand
is.
on the front has an eyeball in the forearm and 6 fingers.
Yeah. A lot going on.
We are
with
going
that
to
hand.
grow. This is a podcast where we grow both personally and, I don't know, musically? Professionally? Definitely that one.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So the
Now,
Haunted.
yeah. I was gonna say something about them, which is what prompted me to go ahead and start the episode. And now I totally forget what I was gonna say about them. So let's get into it.
Was it they're from Gothenburg, Sweden?
It wasn't, but they sure are, as are many, many good bands.
Was it that they were active for 8 years at the time of this release? Formed in
It was.
1996?
That's insane. I was gonna say that's insane, but I guess that makes perfect sense because that's
Totally.
roughly when At the Gates kind of gave up.
It is exactly
Went on hiatus.
the day after, honestly, according to
Yeah.
the wiki.
Man, it's getting to work.
That is
All right.
to work. Yeah, so the I'm sorry about this, but the Bjoller brothers, Jonas and Anders, lead bass and lead guitar respectively, were the 2 members from this band that are in At the Gates. Also, Adrian Erlandson, who is not on this album because he's currently doing a stint with Cradle of Filth at this time.
Yep. He did start with them
He sure did.
after. Because I think the singer of At the Gates became a teacher, I think.
What a noble profession.
Yeah. Good for him. Spiggy.
Yeah,
But yeah, also great era of Cradle of Filth. And we talked about it a
we
little
sure
bit.
did. It was super good. He's a super
Yep.
good drummer.
He really is.
So, a little bit of a, up and down as far as lineup goes. So, like, you start off with Peter Dolving, who's also on this album, a founding member. He's on the 1998 release The Haunted, the self-titled, the eponymous debut album.
Oh, some say.
I'm going to do it every time.
Good.
And then he leaves the band. So the 2 albums following Made Me Do It in 2000, or The Haunted Made Me Do It, depending on who you are and how you read it. And then One Kill Wonder in 2003. And then shortly toward the end of that release, Peter Dolving back in the band.
Nice.
Yeah.
And good. He's a better vocalist.
He
than the other
is. I don't know what it is about his presence, but all of their albums with him just sound generally better than the albums without.
Yeah. I don't get it. He just makes such a. He sounds like no one. Like the dude is just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's a good call out. That would suck if you were the other guy.
Yeah,
they're all better.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marco.
I mean, on One Kill Wonder, he kind of sounds a little reminiscent of Peter Dolving, but not.
He's just got way more of a, I don't want to say run of the mill, because that's not fair. I mean, he still sounds good. Like, he doesn't sound bad.
Yeah.
He's got a good voice, but like it sounds like a lot of people sound, and
it's a little deeper. It's a little more standard, I guess, to your point. Peter Dolving just sounds unhinged. Like he's got he's just one of those like seemingly crazy people who can make an album sound sinister, or like there's some energy to it. His vocals bring energy to the album. Yeah.
Unhinged is a really good way to put it. He does sound unhinged. His lyrics and everything too.
Yeah.
Even when he's like singing, it just seems like he's teetering on oblivion.
The good news is they're still active, seemingly. Their last release was in 2017, but Adrian Erlandsen's back in the band, and a lot of the original, for as much lineup switching as has happened, it's only been a few members.
Yeah, strangely enough, that's what I was just looking at. I didn't realize they only had 4 prior members to their current lineup, which is pretty impressive. Yeah. And Marco almost doesn't even seem like he isn't an original member somehow. Like,
yeah, I mean, he was on the second album, and he's been on as many albums as Dolving.
I mean... oh yeah, actually, it's probably close. I mean, it's probably not as many, but it's probably. Man, that's a good question.
It might be literally as many.
That is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Marco's one shy.
Well, and I think like Ola England's in the band now, which he's one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. And I believe in one of his Coffee with Ola episodes recently, he talked about the fact that the new Haunted was done. It's just going through its, record label bullshit cycle thing that you got to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Yeah.
I mean, maybe the last one, like, as much as I like Ola and everyone else in the band, really, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's like, it's hard to, Revolver is like maybe the apotheosis of melodic death metal. Like,
I would not pose a compelling argument to that statement.
Only because everything, like, they did everything you already thought you could do with the genre, but then added like 50 more things that you can definitely do with it to not sound out of place. And then you get to the newest album and it's good, but it sounds like a in a box melodic death metal album. And then you look back 20 years ago to an album that's got like, I mean, honestly, whatever parameter or whatever like guardrails that genre thought it had was just like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope, you can do all this weird shit too, and it's fine. Yeah, and it sounds awesome.
A lot of the reviews actually touched on that and tied it back to, the emphasis on the evolve portion of the Revolver title.
Yeah.
It's like, they really did. They had the sound with Dolving, and then the couple next following albums were, like you said, packaged melodic death metal albums.
Yeah.
And then this one just kind of threw in a bunch of new elements and took some stuff and took some risks, took some different things, and it all worked really well. It really was an evolution of the sound over the previous albums.
Yeah, to such a significant degree too. And honestly, they don't have a bad album, The Haunted. They're a excellent band. I mean, every album's good. And when you come from At the Gates, I mean,
Yeah, there's an expectation.
odd. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I know that it says the band started in whatever 96, but really these dudes have been making music since the late 80s.
Yeah.
So it's like by the time you get here, you got some shit going on.
Yeah, and pivotal music too. Like genre defining music.
Yeah, like we always called it an At the Gates riff. Like when you're doing the bap 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 bap, like that's the At the Gates riff. And then Lahana just kept doing it for 20 more years. So it's pretty great.
It is pretty great.
Also, the guitar brother is not in the band anymore, right? That's who Ola England replaced?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Anders Bjorler.
Yep.
Bjorler.
Boiler. Bjorler. Get it? Because he's not in the band anymore.
Yep.
It sounds like Bueller.
It does. See, when you have to explain the joke, that's how you know it's funny.
Super funny. But these guys, so like they get defined like genre-wise, melodic death metal for sure. But I was surprised to see. I wasn't surprised to see thrash metal because they do have some deep thrash roots.
Yeah.
And so one of the reviews even kind of says like, you know, this is what Slayer should sound like by now if Slayer was doing something, you know, new
That's
and exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's like, hopefully somewhere somebody is playing this loud enough for Kerry King to wake up and take notice.
Good Lord. Man.
Yeah.
That'd be me quitting the industry. Like, someone said what now? All right, I'll see you later.
Peace out.
This is the pinnacle of my artwork.
They also had groove metal associated with the album. Which,
Yeah, they have highs and lows of that. There's not a lot of it on this album, I don't think, but there is some. And some album, I want to say it's the very next one, has a lot of groove metal in it. But
I kind of missed the next album, The Deadeye, but I definitely like Verses and Unseen. I definitely see more of where you're coming from.
But yeah, I get that. I'm glad it's listed far down because I wouldn't put it high up. I mean, it's just melodic death metal. I don't know why you're calling it like That's
kind of the pinnacle of.
Yes, they just took the genre and expanded it outward. But it's still the genre. Genre. Man, are we already getting into it? I guess we could probably already get into it.
We can get to the, at least the producer credit. Notably, it was Fredman Studios, so Fredrik Nordstrom and Patrick J. Stan and The Haunted.
Oh.
But Fredrik Nordstrom, Fredman Studios, it's where every Swedish melodic death metal band recorded ever. In Flames.
Really?
Yeah, At the Gates. He did everything.
Good for him, man.
Yeah, At the Gates, Arch Enemy, Night Rage, Dark Tranquility, In Flames, Soilwork, Opeth, Powerwolf. So like still doing stuff.
Nice. And good. Please keep doing it. You're very good.
Very good at it. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, which we're going to talk about, but man.
Was he the guy who also did Darkest Hour, Hidden Hands? And Death
nice.
And Death Called Armageddon.
Death Called Armageddon, yeah. Oh, yeah, because remember we were like, boy, I think this guy likes one of these bands better than the other, because, man, Hidden Hands sounds like shit, and then Death Called Armageddon sounds incredible.
Hidden Hands.
Hidden Hands.
Hidden Hands of the Sticky Nation.
Hidden Hands of a Sticky Nation. This nation's gotten awful sticky.
Really, not to get too political, but that's not an inaccurate statement.
Not to get too listen, I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but things are getting a little sticky.
I don't think there's a person out there that would disagree with that. Like some random ass person, like, no, what are you talking about? Things are going fine. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Like, man, what ivory tower do you live in? Oh, that's awesome. Oh. Yeah, we kind of talked about it. I had no idea that Fire Alive and Smut King were not on this album, like the quote unquote actual album. Yeah, I had no idea. I've been listening to this for so long and just thought those two songs. I thought this was a 53-minute and 61-second long album, not a 47-minute and 11-second long album.
100% agreed. I've never heard the non-limited edition, so it can't be that limited.
Right. I mean, maybe Nick Morrow got us into them, right?
I don't know.
I think he was really into this.
It was either that or it was a Century Media sampler that had All Against All on it.
Oh, that could be. Well, I know we saw them at Ozfest that year.
2005.
Yeah. Well, it came out in super late 2004. What was it, October 18th? Yeah. And we saw them in mid 2005.
We sure
summer,
did.
I guess, probably.
Yeah.
So that was this album cycle. So, and I want to say Nick Morrow was super into it. We also, the first time we saw The Haunted was again on the Metal and Hardcore Festival DVD.
Nice.
With other guy, Marco.
Yeah.
Good song.
Right.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's really good.
Probably DOA.
It's not.
What?
100% it's not that. I just can't remember what it is.
Damn.
Because I remember trying to find it once and it being one of their albums that wasn't on Spotify for a minute or something. Now I have to figure this out.
So also, it's kind of along those, the YouTube music doesn't have the non-limited version. Normally down at the bottom it'll have other versions. This is the only version you can listen to.
Yeah. No, same. Spotify only has the lowercase limited version, which is really odd.
Right. Also, that always threw me off that because this was a time when I didn't think people could go back into bands. I just assumed that band members changed and then that's how it stayed forever. So
yeah.
So seeing him on the old one, on the, would you say the New England DVD?
The New England and Hardcore Fest DVD from 2003, and the song was In Vain.
Oh, okay.
With Marco, what's his name?
Miniman. No, it's not.
Marco Miniman. Great drummer, though.
Marco Aro.
Aro?
But yeah, I saw him, and then I was
yeah.
like, "Oh, Peter Dolving's in the band," and then it was like, "Oh, Peter Dolving was the original singer." It's like, no, he wasn't. That other guy was.
Yeah, it's no, it's weird. Also weird to only have two vocalists for that long, just having them in and out.
Yeah,
it's I don't know, weird.
Kill switch.
Good. Yeah, true enough. Did the exact same thing.
Yep.
Also, Hojo and Adam D are done recording their new album, and I'm very excited for that. Yeah, because Hojo is better than Jesse. Anyway,
the album.
Yeah. The album is good.
It is good. There's so much good too. It starts off good. There's good all throughout. There's cool shit.
Yeah. It's varied. It's interesting. It has peaks and valleys. It
sure does.
It does not get boring for a second.
No. And in some of the albums we've reviewed, I mean, especially when people kind of list the writing credits, you're like, oh, yeah, that I can tell it's that guy wrote this song. I don't get a whole lot of that on this album. Between the Brawler brothers and Jensen, the rhythm guitarist, other founding member, it's it's all very much The Haunted in various ways.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like a one dude's holding it down and everyone like contributes otherwise. It's like, no, it's just I don't know when I stopped putting it in my notes, but there was a point where I'm at like track 3 or 4 and saying, I cannot believe all of these songs are on one album. Like, how did you have this much, like, your well of amazingness for this album was so deep, it's unreal.
And how
it's
did
crazy.
you make it like an album and not just like 10, 12 great songs that have nothing to do with each other?
Yeah, it all goes into each other really well. It flows well. The track listing's great. Like, this is great. This is crazy. And I kind of like, I've always listened to this album. I mean, at least for a decade or more.
Right.
Like, pretty consistently. Like, all the way through, I turn it on, and it's not an album. I know it's an album I don't have to skip. So if I don't want to listen to like a playlist or something on shuffle, then honestly, a lot of times I just turn this on because I can set it and forget it. If anyone, do people remember that?
Probably.
Man, that's so long ago now.
The same people
years?
that are listening to this probably remember the Ronco rotisserie. Set it and forget it.
Yeah, man. Infomercials, are those still a thing?
I think, yeah. Mostly for like mops.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. And then
what about like Flex Seal?
Yeah.
Is that still
Anthony Sullivan and Billy Mays has been dead for a Billy Mays has been dead
he's
for
dead.
a while.
Yeah. Strange a heart attack didn't take him out. Wasn't it coke? Or was it a heart attack because
I think it was a coke-induced heart attack.
All right.
So there you go. Covered all the bases.
That's what you call getting to the bottom of it.
Remember they had like a TV show for a little while called Pitchmen?
No?
Yeah. Totally did.
Pitchmen.
Pitchfork.
Well, oh man, how about that? And then the dude that's probably really happy he's dead because he got all of his work.
All of it.
The other one of those. There's
Anthony
two.
Sullivan.
Man, Billy Mays had a hell of a beard, though.
For OxyClean.
Man, it's got 2 seasons?
Yeah.
Man, holy shit.
I know what you're doing the rest of the afternoon. Probably not watching that.
I gotta see what it is, though.
I think it was like an early like Shark Tank. Like people would come on and try and pitch these dudes products.
Oh, yeah.
Or they would like sell, like try and pitch products that other people were trying to hawk.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
almost as interesting as the intro to this album.
You're damn right, Josh. Yeah, track 1, No Compromise. Do you know how many? So, I don't know if you've even seen this, but like, I do a breakdown of every track for every album that we review, and then next to it, I'll put possible favorite if it's in the running, and it's just like the whole album.
I couldn't pick one.
I have no idea.
So hard, yeah.
I know. Well, I have no idea how we're gonna do this.
I know the one, but
I'll ask you about it later,
cool.
Or when we get to it. But No Compromise. There's an intro-ish, but it doesn't take long just to get to fucking kicking your teeth in.
And I love that the volume builds on it. Super cool.
Oh God.
And then and then Swedish black metal. Melodic death metal.
Sorry. Yeah, and this is an album that starts. It's just like I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with this fucking thing. It's too good a shape.
It really is in too good a shape.
It's also lyrics are really good. This man's very upset about things. A lot of political things.
A lot of geopolitical things.
Socioeconomical things. Just the whole, honestly, maybe came out roughly not 20 years too early, but maybe 12, 13 years too early.
I mean, all that stuff sucked then too.
It did. I'm just saying, maybe not too early is the right thing, but this might be a good time to turn it back on.
Yeah.
A lot of the things he's angry about are very, very much a thing right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and he paints a very good picture.
He sure does. And he keeps doing it too in subsequent albums.
Oh, yeah. And he even did some stuff when he left The Haunted the second time. He did like a more Mastodon-y sort of thing, where it's a little more stoner metal sort of thing, and he sings more. It's also very good. His voice is incredible. He sings mostly on it, and it's like the guy is just it's what he can do is kind of obnoxious. Yeah, it's asshole
on the level of like Mike Patton or like In the Conversation.
Yeah, I mean, just Mike Patton chooses to be unhinged in every possible way you can be unhinged.
Right.
So but I would imagine this dude's voice is clearly, he's got all the stuff. So yeah. I'm sure he could do wacky ass, like Dillinger Escape Plan moment. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. He's a fucking weird guy, and I love him so much. But yeah, No Compromise is great. The line, only idiots nurture dying dreams, is a pretty good line.
That's incredible.
He's saying suck it pretty hard to a lot of people really quick in this thing. And
this
I love
track one.
Yeah. And then you get to 99.
Red balloons.
Genuinely. Luft balloons.
Luft balloons, yeah.
Luft. Yeah.
Again, super creative.
All right, that's the podcast, everybody. Oh, man. Yeah, super creative. The stop note thing in 99 will never not be jarring, even though I've been listening to it for like 20 years.
Is that the intro? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that thing, it's jarring and really cool.
Yeah, and because he switches the beat.
Yeah. It's just, it stops it dead in its tracks, but somehow keeps going just fine. What a weird choice. A great choice. Yeah. I mean,
this drummer, I will say, is incredible. Like,
there's so good.
I'll put it out there. Like, there's no missing Adrian Erlandson on this album.
No, the world was better for having this guy here and him in Cradle of Filth.
Yeah,
that's what the good. I'm glad you guys did your things because there's no lack. Honestly, this guy is better than Adrian Erlandson at drums. Like, I don't mean any disrespect by that. I don't think we would have a lot of the stuff we do that I love, dearly without Adrian Erlandson and At the Gates and his stint in Cradle of Filth. But the reality of the situation is that. This guy. How would you?
Who's not linked?
Mjoller Jensen.
Yeah.
Not linked. Yeah, because I think this is all he did. He just did his stint in this band, and
great.
Bob's your uncle.
Robert's your mother's brother.
Robert is my mother's brother. Thank you.
Yeah, he was in the band from 99 to 2012 too. So like, he was almost. It was a long stint. Yeah.
Yeah. He's in a band called The Road.
Check it out.
Currently. Okay, he was in a lot of bands. Never mind.
Okay.
Anyway, I was totally wrong about that guess.
Scrub it.
But he's so good, yeah. 99, maybe one of the best songs on the album.
It really might be, yeah. I mean,
it's ridiculous.
But then you get to Abysmal and everything's just like takes a weird grinding halt. It's a little bit of a slower song, but still equally frenetic.
also maybe the best song on the album, but sounds nothing like the two that precede it.
Absolutely.
It's insane. Also, remember in 2004, and really by that I mean from like 2002 to 2006, where every band ever said either burn these lies or cut the ties, and this guy does it in one song in '99, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like, oh, 2004, gotta cut these ties and burn these lies, everybody. That's
really should burn the lies.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means still. I have no idea, but it sounds cool. I don't know how you burn, lies. I don't really. Anyway.
I can think of at least one book that would satisfy the requirement.
Burn after reading?
Oh, sure. I don't know. I just meant like a book of lies that you could burn. That is a way to burn lies.
That is true. So if you wrote them down, seems like a lot of work. That's all I'm saying.
It does. No time.
Yeah, I got no time.
Yeah.
Abysmal track 3. Takes a totally different turn. And we're all better for it. It's you got a little bit of your black metal influence going on a little bit here. Dread, just dread,
lots
of
despair.
dread. Yeah, bottled up and packaged into something wonderful. But God, that song is dread. Like, Abysmal's the right title for the song.
Yeah,
for sure. Very good. This is when I started saying I can't believe all these songs are on the same album.
Yeah, and then you get to Sabotage. It's like a 2.5 minute thrash song by the Beastie Boys, and it's
boy, are they not the same. Like, it's the fastest song on the album that is just a steamroller of like a ode to 1989 Slayer.
Yep.
And it just fucking cuts your head off. At the best time, too, because you have like a 5-minute long song in Abysmal that is a little slower. You do not notice it. It's, again, maybe the best song, arguably the best song on the album. And then Sabotage is in the perfect spot to just go like, all right, we were kind of slow for a second, but here's the fastest thing on the album. So Here you go. Track 5.
Yeah.
I don't even know. One
of the best count-ins of all time, for sure.
Yeah.
We've
it's
got
that and
Eagles of Death Metal.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Those are both really good. Who? Paralyzer by Finger 11.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one.
Yeah.
I think of both of those songs. If I'm listening to one or the other, I think of the opposite. Because they both remind me of each other so much. All Against All, I don't even know. It might be the best melodic death metal song ever made.
It is an extremely palatable song.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to have a single that in a genre like this, in metal, extreme metal especially, it's hard to like open up to greater audiences oftentimes.
Right.
But if you ever want to show someone how you can alienate no one who already likes you and show off what a masterclass is on a genre defining moment, and then also open yourself up to a wider audience, that's it. It does all of it. There's no one that is into Old at the Gates that would be upset by this song. And there's probably a lot of people that like this song that never would have listened to Old at the Gates.
Right.
So it's like, man, these dudes just, I mean, you're 5 songs in and it's just almost exhausting how good this shit is. It's ridiculous.
Then you go right back to thrash as fuck with Sweet Relief.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, just fucking At the Gates riff.
Yeah.
But a good one. But like a more evolved At the Gates riff.
Slow it down again with Burnt to a Shell.
So far, the only song that didn't have possible favorite next to it is Sabotage, and that is no disrespect to Sabotage. It's just a 2.5 minute long thrash song, which is really, really good. But we get Burnt to a Shell, and I'm still saying possible favorite.
Yeah.
Because it's just so good. Totally different. Not even slow in the way that Abysmal was. So it's even... They're not even repeating the same thing. Burnt to a Shell. Yeah, track 7. I don't know. I don't know if like this is what you sell your soul to the devil for, is to get like 7 songs in on an album that is just absolutely perfect, but sign me up.
Probably not. Like, I think you sell your soul to the devil to get the whole album. But
yeah, true enough. Man, I would sell my soul for 7. I would. I'd be like, give me 7 songs of this caliber. Go get your little quill, your little red scamp, and I don't know, sign your thing.
Take your magic fiddle.
Yeah. Who Will Decide, track 8. I mean, maybe for a second I thought, do we finally have a bit of filler? No. Nope. It's great.
Interestingly enough, though, like Sabotage and Who Will Decide, there's a couple songs where I don't have any notes next to them. And it's not because they're not good. It's just because, like, the rest of them, there's so much to say.
I know. It's just like great up against amazing, or amazing up against great. It's like, where do you put your effort?
Strength
I don't know.
On strength, yeah.
Yeah. Then we got Nothing Right, which I have to say, at track 9, I hate the opening vocal on this song where he says, "Hey, hey, what do you say?"
Oh, yeah. Do you want to be a part of the freak show?
Oh, it's awful. Hey, hey, what do you say?
That's just because it was like an Eric thing to say at the time.
I know, but it doesn't hold up. I forgot about it. It played. I laughed.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, God, this is so stupid. Now, it's the only bad part of the album, so it's okay.
Want to go psycho, song... might go. Step into the sideshow. Yeah, sometimes you just got to rhyme, Brad.
I know. It's terrible. Song's still really good.
Yeah, the intro riff is sick as hell.
It is. Yeah. Everything else about the song, apart from that line and the way that it's just, God, that line's so stupid. Also,
it's like stepping on Legos in the middle of an otherwise great day.
Yeah. And like, you're not mad about it too much later, but then every once in a while you're like, oh, my foot hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to make a really awful analogy that I don't need to make, so I'm not going to.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's called growth.
That's the podcast, everybody. Yeah. So
I also love the way they cut the audio. Like, they thin it out toward the end and then build it back in. So like there's even stuff like that with the production choices where this ridiculous. Album really does have every single detail finely tuned, with the exception of that one stretch of lyrics.
Yeah. And it's not even the rest of, as soon as you're after the freak show, it's perfectly fine. What a stupid. Also, a woman's voice on this song. Did you notice that? There is a woman's voice on this song, and I cannot for the life of me find who it is.
No.
There is absolutely a woman singing on that song. 100%. And it's not much. She's just doing layered vocals over like harmonizing with him, but it's a woman's voice. Or a high pitched, like feminine sounding voice, I guess. I don't want to assume, but
we might have to take a quick recess so I can listen to this.
I mean, like, there is absolutely a guest vocalist on this, and I cannot find who it is.
That's like crazy.
Yeah, I spent so much of my work day on Friday trying to find out who this was.
Nice.
Yeah, in between my 700 calls, it was just trying to figure out who the fuck this person is. Maybe, or I'm insane, and it's not. But I rewound. I listened to it multiple times. Like, anyway, I don't want to derail things too hard, but
I'm shook.
Yeah. Liquid Burns, track 10. The intro is incredible. We're back into a bit of dread territory on this one.
Also, notably, a solo in this song.
Yeah. Well, there's a few. I actually have Bishop and Friends, one of the sports shows I listen to.
Shout out.
Bo Bishop has this thing where he says a man's got to know his limitations.
Right.
And this guy playing solos is a perfect representation of a man or person knowing their limitations, because it's like he can't shred, but every solo he plays is great. It adds, never detracts. It's not like whoever we listened to, Amon Amarth, where it's like maybe you just don't need to play a solo. Like maybe that's just not your thing.
Right.
Like sometimes
it's fine,
not everyone. Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to put a solo, but every solo on the album is well done. It's a great song. 4 minutes and 44 seconds, which is cool. For
that
whatever.
Is cool.
That's worth.
Wikipedia
then,
has it as 4 minutes and 45 seconds. So
bitches.
I know.
Well,
with that, he's been.
This is officially the Lord of the Rings Return of the King episode where we have 7 endings to our podcast.
Just kidding. Welcome back, everybody. We're here for the 2 bonus tracks that are inexplicably not at the end of the album.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't know. Yeah.
So it gets even crazier than that when I was reading through the wiki page on like the releases. So the limited edition contains Fire Alive and Smut King at 11 and 12 respectively. My Shadow was moved to track 13. The Japanese release contains the bonus track Out of Reach at track 9, which I don't think I've ever heard.
Nope.
Nothing Right was moved to track 10. The bonus track Smut King is not on this edition. However, Fire Alive still remains at 11, therefore keeping the album at 13 tracks.
Man.
Ooh, and Out of Reach credits Dolving as one of the writers. The only one, too.
Huh. Man, that's
I have to listen to that.
Yeah, that's a lot going on.
Unless I can't, in which case the song will be Out of Reach for me.
Boom!
Shazam!
Sick. Remember when people made money off like CDs and they did stuff like make a completely different version for one country because it sold it? Incredible. What
yes,
a time.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. What did that make me think of? Something about John Mulaney. Yes, I do.
Sorry about all the dead. The gazebo!
Yep, that's it. Good. My Shadow, because we can't talk about the other ones, right? Like, I didn't make notes for Smut King or whatever, because it's not the...
I've never not listened to them. As far as I'm concerned, like, this is the album. Though they're on it.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
But there's not a lot to say, though.
No, they're honestly... There's probably... that I get why maybe they weren't on the initial track list. Yeah. They're still good. They're good songs. Smut King especially is the better of the two.
It's a sheer wonder, actually, that they had 2 more songs that they could just throw into this that are equally good and don't detract from the album in any way.
At all. No. It, like, don't get me wrong, they might be a couple of the close to weakest songs if they're on there, but they're still so good.
Yeah.
They're still so good. I'm not like, oh god, these two songs, skip those to get to My Shadow. I don't do that. Man, I really want to hear this Japanese release song now. It's killing me. All right. Well, My Shadow, though, the last track on the song, be it track 13 or track 11, what have you, is an incredible song.
Yeah, it's a great way to close out the album.
God, almost 7 minutes and not a second of it wasted. It's just so good.
Yeah, there's a little jazz drum toward the beginning.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like this dude flexed real hard on that, like, because the rest of the time he's not doing that sort of thing. But I don't know. You go through and you listen to this whole album. Not to harp on the drummer too much, even though I can for like a day. The dude is like doing ghost notes and little shit that his peers are not doing.
No.
At this juncture, like no way. He's so good, so good.
They become a mainstay for sure.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you got to do just doing like a jazz. Like a straight up fucking
jazzy little ditty.
Yeah. Unreal. The vocals on this real brooding and like over the jazz drums. It's just like
I wrote the same word.
Brooding?
Yeah.
Well, that's wild.
I guess that's what it is.
It must. Oh, I mean, that's it. It is that now. Whether it was before today, it is now. The chorus is fucking huge on that song.
Yeah,
it's massive. Another really good solo.
It's great.
I don't have anything bad apart from that one line to say about this entire fucking album. Nothing.
No notes. You guys
none.
It.
It's so good.
Interesting little side note, Lou Kohler of Sick of It All was a guest vocalist on Who Will Decide.
Yep. And it's distinct, too. That guy's got a real sick voice.
He's sick of it all. I was reading the wiki and going through the tours and stuff, and I would go back. You know, the first rule of time travel is like kill Hitler, right? Yeah, everybody go back in time, kill Hitler.
Sure.
I would probably... So they toured Europe with Dark Tranquillity, Into Eternity, and Scar Symmetry for the North America... how do you tour Europe for North America Metal for the Masses tour? Anyway.
Weird.
I would probably stop there first.
Yeah, this era, The Haunted, with this era, Scar Symmetry.
Yeah.
That is... bonkers. Like, that's...
Yeah.
Man, that actually kind of makes me sad. Like, neither one of those things can technically exist right now. Like... was the guy in Scar Symmetry still in 2004 or 2005? Like,
their first album wasn't until 2005.
Oh, that's right. I didn't realize that they were that late in the game. They seem like they've been around forever.
Yeah, but it was definitely him.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Man, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Just two vocalists who cannot be stopped.
No.
Like, well.
Can't stop, won't stop.
I would do that before I'd kill Hitler.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Are you kidding me? Yeah.
It's on the way.
If I can fit him in, I will. But
Yeah, I'm busy. I got a finite amount of
to do.
Time juice.
Juice.
Yeah. Yeah. Juice. Well, how do you time travel, Brad?
Oh, juice.
Yeah.
Not, juice. 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 What do you call them?
Time travel and juice. feels so good to laugh. Time to get to the juice.
The juice would kill Hitler first.
Yeah,
I feel. Yeah. Let's get to the review. Yeah. I can't keep thinking about this, or I won't be able to finish this thing.
Sick.
Oh, review. Oh man.
So
amazing.
I have a prediction, and it's going to be that if this album falls short in any way for you, it might be on the album artwork.
Well, I'm so torn on this. So it's such a good album that I think my bias wants to find nothing but positives, even in... It's not a bad album cover. It's effective.
And we are talking about the one with the hand, right?
With the hand, yeah. Dragging down kind of thing.
Like a lead weight. Thank you.
Huh?
Yeah. Night at the Roxbury. It's like this thing. It's like this dragging.
Like dragging. Yeah.
Like all a lead weight. Yes, thank you.
Yep. I don't know. They have one of the best logos ever with the little person punched out.
Oh yeah.
That's very sick and very effective. I do low key hate the lowercase r's on Revolver. I get what it's doing, but it's so cheesy.
Really?
I don't love it. I really don't.
Would it have been better if it was capital R's and lowercase Evolve?
I think it would have been better if maybe the font was slightly different for Evolve rather than a change of size of... I don't know if they're saving it. I just find it very cheesy to have the word Evolve popped out of the word Revolver. We get it.
I don't know, Craig.
I don't know. So I cannot give it a 5, unfortunately. This is probably going to be I won't spoil alert the whole reason we do this podcast too hard. But I don't get me wrong, it's still a 4 for me. But I can't get to a 5. I just can't.
Damn it.
Because it's also I don't know. It's not bad. Nothing about it makes it, that little...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did let my bias take control, and I gave it a 5.
Sick.
And I've never minded the Revolver. In fact, it was my password for many, many things for many, many years because it's capital and lowercase. You throw a 99 for the song name, and there you go. The Haunted made me do it.
There you go. Steal Josh's info.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that I'm sure it's still a password for something. You could probably get into my MySpace account.
Does that still exist?
I don't know.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Didn't Timberlake buy MySpace?
I don't know.
Is that real?
Tom?
That's a thing.
But I like
Juice.
I like the bright ass red.
Yeah, that's true. I do
black and white. Otherwise, there's 6 fingers on the hand, like talked about. So, people associate it with what's going on with the sound of the album. So I think it's super sick. I do like the silhouette guy with the fang teeth.
Yeah.
Super sick.
Yeah, I like that a lot. But, all right, fair enough. So 5 for you, 4 for me. Production, then verse now.
I think it's flawless. Still, like,
Yeah, I
sounds
have
incredible.
absolutely nothing bad to say, but yeah, it holds up. I honestly don't know what you would do right now to make this sound any better. Like maybe someone could, but
No, and like I said, like there's bits where they've got like doubled vocal tracks. There's bits where they're like playing with, you know, fade ins, fade outs, and cutting the sound and thinning things down in spot. Like you mentioned, the chorus on My Shadow is just huge. Like it's got a presence that few of the other Haunted albums even do, and especially none with, unfortunately, Marco Arro.
True. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. The bass comes through really well. The bass tone's incredible. The guitar tone's incredible. The drums sound amazing.
Immaculate.
God, they sound so good. That kick drum still is one of the best kick drum sounds I've ever heard. I mean, again, if I were Darkest Hour, I'd maybe have a lawsuit by this time. You made 2 albums within 12 months of the one you made with us that sound like fucking world beaters, and ours sounds like shit. Yeah. Like, I'd be so upset. Because, man, go listen to Hidden Hands and listen to this. The fact that it's the same person is ridiculous.
That's Hidden Hands of the Sticky Nation, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's the juice.
Yeah. Somebody spilled the juice, and they got sticky hands all over the nation.
Hand, and it's just, you know, one sticky hand begets another sticky hand.
Sticky hands of the Spiggy Nation.
You don't want a Spiggy Nation.
No.
No.
Let's talk about Impact at the time.
I don't know. To be honest, like I don't even have notes for this part because I couldn't.
Is it like oh fuck, what was the word? It wasn't inquantifiable. That's unquantifiable. Not quantifiable. Can't be quantified.
Incalculable.
Sure. Is that it, or is it like inconsequential? Like,
that's the problem. It's one or the other. And I don't, because like we listened to it at the time. I mean, like we knew songs by the time we got to Ozfest, and I'm fairly certain that's because of Nick Morrow's just. I think this was like his shit for like a year. Was like this album. But we heard All Against All early before the album even came out. There was a music video that was played on. Man, I just had to think of this like 6 or 7 episodes ago.
Uranium.
Yeah, on Uranium. And so it's like we definitely listened to it in '04, no doubt.
Yeah.
And at the very least, all of '05.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it having this I think it impacts me more now than it did then. Like, I just like, this was one of those albums where I just listened to it and loved it, and then
that was it.
Like, that was it. I mean, I didn't like, but as far as the impact it had, I don't know if it. I mean, All Against All blew my mind. I don't know. Normally I normally have like a North Star on this kind of thing, whether it's like it did nothing for me, so I can look at it that way. It's like, no, right. I mean, I remember, but who cares? Or it's like, man, I went and learned half the songs on guitar and then started stealing all their ideas, and right. Like we wanted to look like them on stage, or no, they didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
But I still don't know. I don't know what to do with this. What do you have it as, and why? And maybe I can figure this out.
2.5 out of 5. No, I gave it a solid 5. Like, I listened to this whole album, password thing, drums. Yeah. Like, I wanted to be able to play drums and like do weird shit, like cool, weird, creative shit.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, All Against All was definitely a world beater. And I probably had a man crush on Peter Dolving after we saw him at Ozfest, and like he sang the one lyric differently, which was super weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
I very vividly remember that for some reason.
Yeah.
Also, he was kind of gross.
Yeah.
He was, and not kind of gross. Actually, I'm downplaying it. The dude was a scumbag.
Yeah.
Like,
fucking scumbag bastards.
Um,
But yeah, it's like, I gave it 5.
Well, God, I feel like the wet blanket here somehow. And
Ew.
even though I'm like the lowest things I've given it is a 4, but still, I guess I gotta go 4 just because I don't know if I can land on a 5. It's just another situation like that. Like, I just don't know why I could say 5, but I definitely can't go lower than a 4. Actually, I could probably more easily go lower than a high. All right, I'll go with a 4. I'll go with a 4.
Sick. And
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you enjoyed this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5. Come on. What are we talking about?
Let's cook some dinner.
Yeah. Why can't I think of what that's from?
$3,100. Come on. Let's cook some dinner.
Cook some dinner with this thing.
Yeah.
Man, that's so great. So this is like, what, the 9th episode in a row where I'm going to have to go watch The Knife Guy on Price Point.
It's always a good call. Like, you should do it after every episode. And you know what, listeners? You too should check out the Knife episode of Price Points on the YouTube channel Epicurious.
Not sponsored, but please sponsor. That'd be... Get that Epicurious money.
Hashtag give us money.
Yep. All right. Well.
Hashtag starving fartist.
Part of me so... Oh, man. Oh. I'm having such a hard time not changing my 4s to 5s.
I know,
so this has a 40. Listen, this is a 40 album.
It is.
Like
It's got the juice.
What do they call them? Anyway,
Sick.
But we got a score of... Go watch the Christmas episode of American Dad from season 6. Just everybody.
Yeah, it's got August Burns Red in it. There's nothing not to love.
It does. Nope. And then you can know why this was a lot funnier than...
Everything's funnier with American Dad subtext.
Yep. Anyway, all right. Perfect 20 from Josh.
Boom!
18 from me, which makes me feel like an ass. For a total of 38.
I hate that.
I know.
I mean, we've got a 37, though, don't we? Maybe somewhere?
Yeah, for sure.
Do we?
I don't remember who.
I know we've got 20, so this is 33. 33. 37, yep. Kill Switch. The End of Heartache. That was my...
You know what? Man, Kill Switch got a 37.
It did.
That's unsettling. All right.
Oh, no,
Good
you
standing
even
from
gave
these
it a
dudes.
4. For album artwork.
Oh, yeah.
You're a tough sell on
Yep.
album artwork.
Yeah.
Well.
That's wheelie wheeled.
Screwdriver.
Wheelie wheeled. Is that okay?
I don't know. I genuinely do not know.
I really immediately didn't. I was like, wait. Well, all right. Anyway, I'm leaving it in. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
This album's
Revolver
amazing.
by the Haunted.
Yeah, the
Very
Haunted.
good.
Never had a bad album. So
Nope.
you know, you might find some stuff you like more than others, depending on how you track and which singer you heard first, probably. Honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't listen to this album, definitely do it. I would probably
God, it's
say,
good.
if you aren't familiar with The Haunted, start here.
Yeah. So listen to All Against All first.
Yes.
Lower yourself in like a warm bath,
Go
and
on back.
then kind of spread out from there. And
Yeah. The subsequent
Or unless-
Dolving albums get progressively weirder.
yeah,
Not,
super
not bad, but
No, but weird.
Yeah.
It gets weird. He gets weird.
he does.
He is weird, I feel. But all right. So, toughest part about this album for me, anyway. What is your favorite song?
Oh man, I forgot about this part.
And is All Against All going on the playlist either way?
I mean, my favorite song is No Compromise, 99 Abysmal, All Against All.
Right. It's the fucking worst. Like, because
All Against All has to be on there, and I want to pick 99
Okay.
as my favorite.
okay, fair enough.
Unless you did too.
No, well, I could have. Like, if you didn't, I'll go with Abysmal.
Sick.
But no compromises.
Yeah, it's so good. That's a good breadth of what this album has to offer with those three songs.
Agreed. Also, if you're just listening in, weird, because I just assume the same like 6 people are listening to this every week, give or take.
But welcome, all the same.
Yeah, but welcome if that is the case. We appreciate it. But we have a playlist on Spotify, TDTL favorite songs or favorite songs. And we take our favorite songs from each album that we review and put them on there. Ever growing, really cool playlist because it's kind of all over the place. But every once in a while we have a song that has to be there. Generally, we only add 2 songs, obviously, because there's 2 of us. This week we're adding 3 because All Against All it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
I mean, it's the defining factor of like this sound, this album.
It's such a good. It's crazy. But we'll also be adding 99, track 2, and Abysmal, track 3. Yep. But Juice isn't one of them.
Juice is not one. All the time, Juice.
Time Juice.
Yeah.
Man.
So I think we did all the things.
Yeah, check us out on Instagram.
Awesome.
TDTL_podcast.
So with that, yeah. He's been Brad. I've been Josh. We've both been 2 decades too late.